Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, March 14th. It is 8:30 a.m. and I am listening to the pitter-patter of snow right outside my window. And you're gonna hear some background noise today because my son Maximus is in here with me. He's watching his iPad and some other stuff. So uh, if you hear me answering questions that you're not sure who asked them, that would be him. So we just had PPI released. We can see here 8:30. Only news for us today. I'm expecting a very choppy day today. Um, Very calm ahead of tomorrow's Fed announcement and tomorrow's inventory report. We could see we had a very, sorry, let me pull this in. We could see that we had a very range-bound day yesterday. Just traded back and forth across overnight VPOC between overnight high and previous swing, overnight high, previous swing. Really choppy day yesterday. Yesterday was an easy day to make some mistakes potentially because they snuck this day in. Let me pull something up and I'll show you what I'm saying here. We had a day yesterday with a range of 56 ticks. That's coming on the back of a day of 154, 156, 282. So they snuck this really tight range in right after these monstrous moves. And certainly for me, I got caught up in that a little bit early in the day, looking for trades that didn't materialize. I certainly was not expecting that type of consolidation. Now, generally, the rule of thumb is after some large trend days, you do get consolidation days. With a 56 tick day, we probably have to find the holiday day of trading to get even anywhere close to that low of a range. But right now, I'm not going to bother going back there and checking. Let's take a look at what's happened overnight. Okay, so it looks like, let's see. We're definitely down here. We're below 48. Here's yesterday's close. We are net short right now. We did put a lot of volume in around yesterday's close, but certainly it looks like we are net short. So correction of the overnight inventory would not be all that surprising, but let's get our levels in place here. Let's move value area low. I mean, yesterday's value area is going to be awfully tight because of the small range. Yesterday's VPOC, perfect bell-shaped curve for yesterday's session trading. Here's our overnight high and our overnight low. Okay. And overnight VPOC has shifted. What did we say before? I just forgot the right one. Oh, how about that one? Overnight VPOC. All right, so we have all the levels that matter to us. Then we can go take a look at the homework. But you can see right around, what is this, about 7 o'clock, we started pushing down. I'm not sure what the cause of that was, and I won't lie, I don't really care. Ultimately, I'm interested in the chart and the data on the chart. We've come down into this area of multiple microcomposite VPOCs. We talked about this yesterday, that if we were to get in here, we were expecting some chop. I think that only even further was going to lend to the idea of a choppy trading day today. So currently we're trading down here. Let's get that exact price. 47.62. Okay. So very close to overnight low. Is that right? I didn't realize we are. Yeah, wow. Look at that. Okay. So currently trading very close to overnight low. Let's draw some hypotheses here. So what we're going to watch for at the open is definitely going to be some chop. overnight VPOC way up here. We're well below it. Inventory net short. I'm going to start with watching for a test of the overnight low, a couple of these levels beneath, see if those can hold, push back up through these microcomposite VPOCs, test this swing level here, and if that can break, ultimately make a move up towards this previous swing, this previous VPOC, yesterday's low of day. So that's going to be my expectation number one. Once we get to yesterday's low of day, we're going to watch for resistance here to see if we can turn back down and kind of start chopping around between this area here. That's expectation number one. Print that. Okay. Whatever the phrasing is. Expectation number two is going to be open, chop, chop, chop. See if we can't get to the top side here. Push, get back into yesterday's range, and then fail at overnight high with a pushback down. Hang on one second. Why am I seeing? Just want to make sure this is accurately overnight high, 48.54. And what in the world is this? 48.79. Sorry. 48.54 is certainly not overnight high. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Ultimately going through overnight VPOC, making its way for overnight high. This is expectation number two, and you know, this whole move would be about 130 ticks if it were to happen, which is not a crazy day for oil, but I don't think that's really going to be the case. I think we're going to see one of these levels on the way up act as resistance. Certainly could be yesterday's low, and keep us into a range of about 48.10 to the top side, and I don't think we're going to be pushing much further than 47 to the downside, which will be my next hype. And that's going to be, again, chop, test to the top, fail, get through overnight low. Would love to do it in where it looks kind of like that, consolidate around overnight low, push through, test this previous swing, and ultimately make its way down to this previous VPOC, previous swing level here, and that's type book rate. All right, that's what we got for oil today. And let's pull in the S&P. I think we got plenty of time still. And first things first, just going to adjust my levels. Looks like VPOC stayed the same from the other day. Let me see something here. Let me go back into oil for a second. Yeah, that's good. Sorry, I was checking something on another chart, on another screen. And overnight VPOC, very much near the bottom here. Okay, so we are inventory net short. We're 100% short inventory overnight from S&P, so we will be expecting a correction of that at some point today. And I'm going to say that correction should take us either to the low of day yesterday, and then above that we'll be targeting value area low and VPOC from yesterday. So definitely looking at those as areas of interest from yesterday. Let's see if there are any. Let's see what happened yesterday. Okay, let's take a look what the range was yesterday. So we had 26 ticks. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's what, 8.5 points? No. That's 7.5 points. I mean, that's absolutely nothing. 60, 61, 49, 41, 45, 36, 60, 79, 38, 30. I mean, 26 ticks is, that's crazy. But as we said yesterday morning, we are expecting lots of indecisiveness ahead of the Wednesday Fed release. So nothing is a major surprise here. But we are able to, let's take a look at the levels that we broke yesterday and see if they belong on our chart. This swing is going to get moved because we have broken that swing. That swing has come from somewhere in the past, this low here, and we broke it to the top side here, then broke it to the downside, broke it again, so that's gone. This swing is also coming from somewhere in the past. This one's gone. This one's going to become low. Okay. And before I do the hypos on the S&P, let's just go make sure I mark off low of day and high of day from yesterday's trading in oil. Low of day was already marked from a previous swing, and high of day is right there. Yeah, okay. All right, so we can include yesterday's trading on the S&P and our market composite. So we have started to balance here. Okay, so right now we're going to see if we stay inside this 23.75 half to the top side, and to the far, the extreme version of the downside, we'd be looking at 23, about 23.51. Although I think we're really going to be contained in this 23.57 3/4. So let's do some hypotheses. Okay. So we're currently trading down, right? So 23.63.50. Also hovering near the low of the overnight session. Ideal setup for me this morning with what it is I'm looking for. We're going to target this low volume node. And I'd like to make a quick drawing here. I want to extend this former VPOC. Now notice I'm extending a VPOC because if it were still naked, it would have been extended automatically by our software. But since it is not naked, I need to extend it myself. And I want to delineate this low volume node here. So that's going to be a horizontal red line. I'm using this off of the composite. So it's going to be a solid red line right there. Okay, so let's redraw this. $63.75. Okay, ideal setup for me this morning. And if it happens, I hope I am prepared to take it. Meaning I hope I react to it properly. Ideal setup this morning is going to be an open, test overnight low, breaking overnight low into this former VPOC, down to low volume node, giving us a nice setup with divergence, and a long that ultimately chops a bit at the overnight VPOC and then makes its way into yesterday's value area low and VPOC. This is hypo 1. This would be perfect for me. I would even be willing to, just to just to add to this a little, I would even like to see a push down to this lower part of this microcomposite VPOC, giving us the same basic type of setup here. This will be 1A. That's 1 and 1A. But both of them basically are looking for the idea of a push down to start and then a reversal to bring overnight inventory to adjust overnight inventory and to bring us back into yesterday's value. Okay, so expectation number 2 is the opposite, is where we open, chop a little around overnight VPOC, push, get into yesterday's value, fail at yesterday's VPOC, come down, chop, maybe give us a short setup somewhere around here, and then ultimately come and break overnight low and test down to this previous swing. That's going to be expectation number 2. Expectation number 3, very similar opening here, where we're going to chop, maybe test overnight low, hold, get into yesterday's value, get above VPOC, test the upper end of yesterday's value, upper end of the value on this market composite, come back to retest yesterday's VPOC, value area low, hold, and ultimately find rejection at the overnight high and stay inside the range, which we're targeting a range for today, basically 71 3/4 to the top side, so right near yesterday's high and overnight high, and to the downside I would be targeting the low of Friday and maybe even slightly below. Excuse me. Okay. All right, so that gives us our hypotheses for both crude and the S&P. I'm going to pause the video till we get closer to the open. If I think of something else that I want to show you guys, I will jump back on, okay? See you in a few minutes. Okay, we got about a minute and a half to the opening. We can see oil making another push down here towards overnight low. Real nice positive divergence at overnight low here from swing to swing. Big bid. Don't know if it's real. We won't know until it gets tested. But I do like an opening of the day setup for a decent long opportunity here. See if we can't get a push down at the open. We have a couple of former value area levels inside this range here, so there's a few spots in here that I'd be willing to take along, but overnight low would be the first spot out. I watched. Bids have stepped up. Offers have come down. So big bid here, 230, 227 contracts. They're staying. They're getting printed. They're adding on there. Oh, they just got a big chunk of them came off. Offers up here as well. A couple of levels stacked. Let's see. bids just disappeared. About 100 contracts came off without us being there. So definitely showing some pressure to the downside right now. Okay, here's that test of overnight low with some selling on the way down. Selling at the bottom as well. Buyers just stepped in. Oh, pushed it good too. Buyers stepping in here. Went away. Here we are again, just kind of chilling down here. Nothing but sells. If you look at every big trade down here, these are still all selling. Nobody's stepping in to buy a large size just yet. So this 124, yeah, this has been kind of moving back and forth. That was the 124 that was down here. Those contracts, they disappear without being traded. So those really don't seem all that real to me. Still, positive divergence at the overnight low. Just missed that trade there. Again, seller stepping in. See large trade here again. Sell. You did get one buy up here. It's an interesting place for a buy to go off. Nothing really to look at middle of the day right now. Range is super tight. Missed a couple of entries here. Again, hesitating on my part. No correction yet of overnight inventory. Remember, we were talking about correction of overnight inventory for us is going to be a move up towards yesterday's low, even overnight value area low, but really yesterday's low would be where we'd want to see to even start considering overnight inventory balanced. Value area low and VPOC even more so, but there's nothing to say that this wants to stay balanced, so we'll We'll just watch another big sell. Let's see what happens here. Bids are refreshing here. You can see it went down to 0 and they just added back on. Just happened again. There's some strength right there. Right at VWAP. Now sellers came in hard. You can easily drive yourself crazy watching order flow. You can see some buyers just stepped in here at VWAP. Makes sense. Our high day is too close, but we're within 10 ticks of the high day, so we're not looking to take a trade off the middle here. Remember, we talked about a couple things today that we're expecting chop for the fact that we have the Fed tomorrow. We are right in between a few microcomposite VPOCs. There's actually 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. This entire area we would expect to see some chop. So not a surprise that we're seeing that this morning. Did miss a trade here. Did miss a trade off overnight low. Had nice divergence on the 987. Nice divergence on the 1597. Not on the 6. Well, we had divergence on the 610 from back here, but not from this swing to this one. But we did have it on the 2 longer time frame charts. Definitely a decent setup there. Just hesitation on my part. I'm sure some of you that have been watching for a while are probably watching and just thinking to yourself, why not? Why are you not taking a trade here? Great entry, stop below overnight low. But that's how it goes sometimes. Again, large trades coming in, selling. I have a feeling this is a lot of what this morning is going to look like. So we just gotta stay patient, see if a trade develops. We'll keep an eye on the S&P as well once the equities market opens. Real tight consolidation here. I just realized I don't know if I've been uploading. I don't know if I've been uploading the videos to YouTube. Let me check on that real quick. Certainly want to. Oh, there we go. I did not upload. Looks like Fridays or yesterday's. So let's do that. Let's get that started while we have nothing going on here. Look at what this first hour's, first 2 minutes worth of trading looks like on a 60-minute chart. I mean, it is nothing. But once again, it was to be expected. So no, we're doing a good job staying out of the way, not getting ourselves caught in bad trades. We didn't do a great job of taking the trade that's set up. And one that's set up that we spoke about, here comes again. Test overnight low. You can see, just got into a trade here. Positive divergence on all 3 time frames. We're going to see if overnight low holds this time. Just throw these orders out there so we have them available to manipulate if we feel we need to. What are we watching for now? We'll watch order flow a bit here. Certainly watching for, excuse me, the middle of the day in VWAP. Would like to see us get back to the top side. That's a big sell right there. It's a big sell below VWAP. Not the only person watching middle of the day in VWAP right now. Excuse me. Definitely some selling pressure here on the depth of market. Seeing offers come down, bids are dropping. Just happened again there. Let's see if we can't get an offer to get up now. They're adding here. They just added from 8 to 11, now 18. Let's see if we can't get those to disappear and have a bid step up for the first time in a few ticks. No, not happened there. The big offer coming in it came in at the market. Don't like what I'm seeing here. Yeah, it just happened again. Offers continue to push. Yeah, they're eating right through this. We're in trouble. God damn it. Okay, no positive divergence down here, so we kind of have to watch. Got in late to the party there. We missed our first trade at overnight low, took our trade at overnight low. The next time we came to test, did go in our favor very slightly, 4 or 5 ticks in our favor, and then we just saw the sellers step in and start pushing down. At this point, we do have negative momentum on the BBs, no positive divergence from swing to swing, from low to low. So we're just gonna have to wait to see. We do have a lot of bids here stacked up. You see some offers flashing in and out there at 230. You can see it's coming in, disappearing, coming in, disappearing. So selling at the lows here. Testing this large bid, that's actually printing. You can see lots of large orders came in here. Now you got to be careful. Well, I got to be careful not to get trapped in this idea of, you know, like a pullback to this low volume node, overnight low. I do like that as a potential short, but this is what I started looking at yesterday. This is the kind of stuff I was doing yesterday. It would come up and not really move back down. It would just kind of get stuck in this range, and I kept getting caught in trades near the middle of that range. So I got to be careful with that. We're testing the lower end of these VPOC. Remember, we said that really at the far end to the downside today, we were looking at about 47.27. Could be as low as 47.10. So we are still plenty of room down from the perspective of our levels. What just happened? I have no idea what just caused that, but okay. So, you know, if we now that we've put a low in of 47, I don't mind the idea of taking a short here at 58, 57. I'd like to see it push back higher than that, but we do have some consolidation here that could stop that from happening. On the flip side, we'll also start watching for positive divergence on the BBs down here. We would absolutely be willing to take a long. We're seeing bids step up down here at the 50-51 level, 47.50, 47.51. We saw bids stepping in there nicely. Now we're seeing offers refresh right up here at 47.53. It's an iceberg order. You can see that keeps going down to zero and coming back up. I'm not the only one that saw that. Somebody just took a big sell there. But it looks like bids came up. Buyers overpowered it. We'll see if they can hold that level and continue to drive price up, or if sellers continue to refresh their supply here. No, there go buyers. Buyers are pushing it up a bit. Okay. I'm going to start a short here. Buyers continue to step up here. We're going to be looking to scale into some more here. This might be the mistake I was talking about, trying to avoid making. We might be watching it happen in real time. Big sell just stepped in there. But buyers are coming up. There's still a lot of bids coming up here. Staying with the one contract for now. I'm going to add in here when I added in, I saw the buyers had stopped coming up to the bid as much. So what I'm looking for is a turn down here, get us back below VWAP, back below middle of the day. Maybe see sellers start stepping in here as they did. If they did right back here. It looks like bids are still coming up and holding strong. Sorry for all that background noise. Like I said, my boy's in here with me today, and he's got his iPad going strong. Okay, I'm taking the third contract here and show you what we're going to do, how we're going to handle this. Tight stops, or tightish, I should say. Bring that there. Okay. Just to have my trades out there. Okay, front run that. And we have a value area level at 37, so we'll leave that one at 40. Okay. Now, what we are going to watch for is going to be whether we not. It looks like we will have positive divergence down here at the current low of day. So we already have one limit order out, one profit target out to take 10 ticks as we approach, if we approach low of day. But right now, really what I want to focus on is this order flow here, right at the mid, right at the VWAP. I'd like to really want to see this get us away from VWAP, kind of let some sellers jump on board, build up their confidence in the move down. 6.5 minutes away from equities open. Buyers just came up, took over the bid here at 47.59. The stronger the push down, if we get it, the more likely the BBs are going to lose their divergence. A slow chop, I think, would lead to that divergence, staying on the chart. Here we go. Some sellers just stepped in there. Oh, well, as soon as I said that, big buy just came up. And again, this order flow, remember, it's microscopic. I'm commentating it as much as I can to try to help you guys see it and maybe just to learn and understand what it's saying. But it's not something, at least I can't use that as my only tool for trading. Certainly the last thing we saw where those buyers stepped up with size, certainly with a bullish sign. But right now, this size is away from the market. So now let's see if we test that 69.58 contract. So they're eating up some bids here. Let's see if this can drop and what. So this flashing in and out, this large size flashing in and out, really doesn't bother us. When it matters is when you see large size show up at the current bid. That's when it matters, or vice versa. Large offers showing up at the current bid, and right now that's happening on the bid side more so than on the offer side, and that can literally change in the blink of an eye. Yeah, so right there, that was a couple of strong bids right there. followed up by one strong offer. So we're in a stalemate here. Okay, nice sharp move. Let's see if we can't push that further down now. Again, stayed below middle of the day, stayed below VWAP. We like that. Oh, big bid again. That big bid was responded to by a fairly large sell order here, but what we saw, if you saw it when it happened, you can see immediately it pushed price up a couple of ticks. We want to see that happen on the offer side. Yeah, that's not bad. Offers are coming down. Let's see if we can't start hitting this 47.55. Now we want to see that contract size decrease. See how it went down a little, then added back on. Again, we want to see that decrease. We want to see the offer size increase. Lots of sells going off down here. You see 121 contracts traded in large trades. So that's nice. It doesn't always mean anything, but usually if people that are making the large trades, you hope are the more experienced traders and see things the way you see them, and hopefully you're all seeing it right, especially when they agree with me. So again, we're trading that bid at 47.56. We need to see those contracts disappear and then have the offer come down to become 47.56. Not happening right now. Right now we're seeing the bid continue to add on even when we're trading it. Okay, so bids have stepped up there. All right, they come back in the sellers. But this 47.56, there's definitely people willing to buy here. They're holding that bid. Okay, offer came down 47.56. Now let's see if we can't trade further down. Keep pushing, test these buyers. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can't get even further. Large offer came in at the current price, if I saw correctly. I took my eyes off of that for a minute. Right there again. We need this bid to drop. I don't want it to keep refreshing. Right now we do have sellers looking like they're willing to push price down a bit. Considering closing my first contract here. Yep, I'll take one right there. Okay, now I'm watching here for this second one. Moving that to a 10-tick profit target, and I would be very willing, if we see the right things take shape, I'd be very willing to close this here as well. Okay, that's out of two. We have one left. Now I'm going to be watching down here to potentially close out of this trade and then turn it around for a long. But we're going to see here. We're watching. We have positive divergence on every one of these time frames right down here towards this VPOC. Microcomposite VPOC, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. I am out and long. It's interesting. I don't see a way to protect that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a stop in for now. Let's just do it down here. And a profit target here. Okay. Current low is 47. We're behind it by 3 ticks. Entry price is 51. So I'm moving my profit target away, but I will close this trade via the keyboard if need be. And what we're watching again, I'm watching order flow down here. Very willing to add on to this trade. I want to see what happens at this with this big offer here. If we can push up to that. Sellers are defending down here. We're adding on to the bid as we're trading the bid. Oh, big sell. I'm sorry, I meant buyers were defending there. I'm sorry. Okay, so we have our stop below these large bids here. Now we've seen with oil, we've seen price push right through large sizes like this, especially at a low. So hopefully that's not the case here. You can see sellers are willing to push down, even though there's these large bids here. Sellers are pushing down here towards the low. Excuse me. Buyers did a good job defending this. Now they need to follow up price. Now they need to start showing that they want to get more aggressive and start paying up to the market. There's some large buy orders right there. Again, I'm not the only one looking at if this low holds, then the idea is to push back up, to see if we can't get at least back to VWAP and beyond. But, I'm not the only one seeing that low of day buyers stepped in to hold, and that's why you see these large buy orders coming here. Okay, there we go. Now you can see on the 1597, we're pointing upwards nicely on the BBs. On the 987 and 610, I'm going to be curious to see what happens if we can get our way back to VWAP, where those BBs are. And like I said, I am ready to close my trade via the keyboard if I feel it's necessary. I have my profit target pushed away. In fact, I'm going to push it even further. And again, I'm watching order flow right here at the VWAP. Really want to see us get above VWAP and close above VWAP. If it looks like that's going to struggle, I would be willing to not only close my trade, but once again reverse it. Big bid just stepped up at current bid, and then it ticked away from it, so it's no longer current bid. I like to see that continue to happen here. There we go. Nice, strong BBs here. Remember we talked about for, sorry, when I'm done with this, buddy, I will, okay? We talked about showing a correction of overnight inventory. For us is going to be at least to yesterday's low. We said maybe even as little as overnight value area low. So we're going to put a profit target in here that I probably will not mess around with if we get up towards there. Okay, so we got above the VWAP. We're pulling back down here a little bit. That might have been a good opportunity to add on to this trade, but that's okay. Back and forth through VWAP. Big bid came in, but didn't come in at the market. See how it disappeared? It came in, but it was away from the current price. It just did it again. Big bid came in, but not at the current price. Those don't excite us. In fact, we pretty much ignore those. There's a nice bid at current price. It got hit, but there's another one. Nice bid, current price. So right now, looks like buyers are willing to pay up. Sellers held them off there, but looks like buyers were willing to pay up to get into their positions. Here again, we're trading bid, but we're adding bids on here. Oh, some offers just came in. Again, they came in at the market. That's what you're watching for. You're watching to see large size come in at the current bid or at the current offer. That's when it matters most to you. Right now, that was happening a little bit more on the offer than on the bid. Just happened again here. Big sell. I actually don't understand that one. I don't know what it was they were looking at. Oh, I guess we crossed below VWAP. It's okay. I'm not saying they're going to be wrong. I always try to understand what other traders are looking at, especially when it's large large trades. You can see here, saw how those bids came up at current bid. We had some size show up there. Just happened again. We want to see a nice 70, 80 bid show up. Okay, so we saw a 79 here, 43 here. Just went up to 84. Now again, there we go. Just like that. Just like that. Let's see if we can't push up here. We have some offers that we have to deal with. Okay, I'm closing this here. We're going to see if there's see if an opportunity to get back in arises. So we tested opening range mid a couple of times back into this consolidation. We saw offers stacked up there. So we took that trade as far as the buyers would take us. Now, that's not to say that they won't reload and push back up again. But if we wanted to have the opportunity to get back into that trade where we were or better. So we just saw buyers step up again there. And they just did it again. Okay, so we'll just kind of start watching here, see what happens. Just a real quick glance over at S&P. We opened, tested overnight low, no real divergence there. I'm not gonna lie to you, I forgot what the hell we were looking at S&P. All right, so yeah, that's actually one of the things we were watching, see if overnight low would hold, push back up into yesterday's low, which is exactly what just happened here. Let's go back to oil. I'm gonna keep an eye on both of these here. You know, S&P opened up exactly like oil did. We pushed down, consolidated their overnight low, and then moved away. We did the same thing here. We pushed down, consolidated on the overnight low, and moved away. Ultimately, in oil, we came back down to overnight low to test former market composite VPOC. I think for S&P, we had talked about the lower end of our expectation for today is really down into these three levels here. So let's see what happens here at yesterday's low. The volume here, the liquidity is a little low for a crude. Nothing over 1,000 contracts. The S&P touched yesterday's low, came off of it by a few ticks here, 35, 50, 6 ticks about. Oil has come back down into mid, into VWAP. Again, we got to be careful not to get caught up in chop here. Here comes another pullback in oil. Let's see if this low volume node here at 56 holds. S&P turned off the overnight low. Let's see if we're going to get a repeat of what oil did. Are we going to break through? I'm sorry, I turned off of yesterday's low as resistance. Let's see if we get a repeat of what oil did. Are we going to break through overnight low and push to the next levels that we're watching? As long as oil stays by the mid, by the VWAP, there's really nothing for us to do there. S&P pulled back towards the mid. No, I'd like to. I don't know why in the S&P things like where it says yesterday's low, day low, they all seem to be covered up pretty bad by this. Yeah, it looks like, I see why. It looks like this chart. Who knows? Okay, oil's come through bottom side of VWAP now, bottom side of mid. This is where it's easy to get hurt over trading, churning. Oil drifting lower, coming back to test. Potentially low of day. Nice positive divergence here at low of day. Last time we took a trade from here, it worked. Big buy stepping in here. They're stepping in off of this previous swing. They're watching this swing as the potential end of the move down. Let's watch some order flow down here. Okay, so we're hitting bids. They're adding in contracts. They're adding more. Same thing's happening on the offer though. So right now it's a stalemate. There you go. Some sellers stepping in. Big sell towards the bottom here. That's always surprising to me. Okay, push lower. Taking a long here. Positive divergence. I'm not sure where the rest of my order is. Okay. Putting some profit targets out here. I want some orders out that I can manipulate if I choose to. But also I'm going to be watching order flow here as well. Again, if need be, I will move my trades down, but you could see nice positive divergence across all three of the BBs as we got through this former microcomposite VPOC, the bottom end of where we were really looking to mess around with in this chop zone. We definitely have room below us if if we were to break, which is why my stop is fairly tight. I'm not looking to get not willing to put too much risk on belief here, because we do have room to slide if this positive divergence test of low of day does not hold. Okay, so let's watch what's going on here. Bids keep adding on. Bids stepping up. Let's see if we can't. There we go. That's nice. Again, bids. So offers just stepped in there. Let's see. Our first profit targets below VWAP, below middle of day. Really happy with that. I don't like that this big offer just came in, but I took my eyes off to see did it come in at current market or not. Okay. So again, what we're watching for, we want to see if we trade on the bid, we want to see contracts get added on even though we're trading there. And then we really want to see pushing that. So we didn't want to see that. Right now, sellers are definitely looking like they want to hold this down. Still positive divergence here off of these swings. Off of this very last swing, we don't really have great positive divergence on the 610, but we do have it on the 987 and 1597. And here again, what we're watching for, we really want to see these bids hold and start making our way back up towards VWAP. And that's not happening right now. These offers seem like they're fairly aggressive in trying to come down and get their trades. They're bringing large size to the offer at the current offer. Just did it again. Really need to see these bids hold here. You know, they're down here with size, but I'd like to see buyers saying, okay, you know what, I don't want to wait to get in. I want to pay. I'm willing to pay up a couple ticks and start pushing price back up and have these sellers say, you know what, this is come down too far. I think that we're overly sold. This price is too cheap for me to sell at. So let's see what happens here. Bids are holding. That was nice. Big step up there for the bids. That was nice. I want to see a little continuation on that. Get us up above this last swing high. So we have bids stepping up, but we're still struggling to get up here. Tough spot right here. Tough spot. Offers are holding their ground. Bids have stepped up, but offers are holding their ground here. There we go. Really want to see some large size come in on the bid. Push these offers out of the way. Doesn't seem to be happening right now. We actually just saw the opposite happen there. No, big bid coming at current price. Raising up, actually looking to get filled here. That's what we were talking about. We want to see these bids step up with size, but then we need to see these sellers kind of get away. That didn't really move price much at all. Just happened again. Need to get up off of this 47.51. This is not going as planned here. I'm going to there it is again. Not big bids. I'm going to take one off here. I know it's only 3 ticks, but so be it. Not sure where the hell the rest of my orders are, but okay. Forced me to take my eyes off of what I was watching here. Okay, so we lightened our risk here a little bit. Not crazy about what I was seeing there. I do still like that we are at low of day with positive divergence, which is why I'm not closing my trade completely. But certainly we are seeing bid offers hold this 51 level, the 47.51. They really have not allowed buyers to push up through there, even though there's been some pretty substantial, at least from a depth of market perspective, there's been some pretty substantial buying. There we go. So we kind of saw that one coming. That was good. At this point, we're getting close to 10 o'clock. At this point, I'm going to call it a day. Not a bad day's worth of trading. All in all, just about break even. Missed this first one. Got into the second one. Again, we saw the order flow kind of hold us down here, but was okay with the entry here. Positive divergence on the BBs at what was currently low of day and overnight low. I'm okay with that. Caught a nice trade here. Actually caught a nice short here. Reversed it into a long. Unfortunately, we only had one contract when we got that long. I don't remember now if I added a second one or not, but didn't get much here. Closed out our trade nicely up here, and then just now we had the short. We saw the order flow slowing us down, lightened our risk. At this point, we really don't have any. Only on the 1597 do we have any type of positive divergence. Everything else is showing down, so we would be more likely to watch for a pullback into a short, off of this consolidation level if we can get back up to that 51 area, and then see what happens from there. The other side, if you remember, to the downside today, we talked about 47.27, which is this swing here, as one end of the potential range, and all the way down to 47 even as the other. Currently, we are setting up in what looks to be a downtrending day. We opened gap down. We have not really made any attempt to close that gap. We have not made any attempt to correct overnight inventory, which more and more seems to not matter in oil. Oh, look what the S&P did here. Shit. Opened just like what oil did. Tested overnight low, pushed up to previous day's low, and then ultimately made a move down through overnight low. That was that's interesting how it mimicked it so exactly. That's actually pretty cool. All right, guys. As always, if you have any questions, I know last few trading days haven't been great, but that's okay. It's part of the learning. Like I said, we hesitated on the one trade today here, right off the open. Hesitation here. We definitely had a trade that we could have been taking there. We did get into our trade here. As I said, that worked out very nicely. I think we actually got short here, covered and reversed here, covered here. I don't remember if we reversed up here. I don't think we did. And then ultimately we tried taking a long off of the what at the time was current low of day with nice divergence. Got real close to our tentative profit target, but we did not get filled. We did not get taken out of our trade. We did lighten our risk when we started seeing that 47.51 was really holding by sellers. Didn't really like the idea of turning it into a short because of how close we were to low of day. But other than that, that is it for now. Arcas, have a good day. Bye bye.